Welcome to our Dimensions Tents tech tutorial based on our permanent installations. With years of experience, we would like to advise on some guidelines involved when installing a permanent stretch tent. So first of all, we'll be focusing on understanding the capacity and the capabilities of the stretch tents for the specific purpose of the installation. So it's important to familiarize yourself with the engineering build book and the specifications of the tent fabric and accessories, and make sure you choose the right accessories and the right fabric for the job. The Flex Coated is the best, and it's a premium product purely designed for the permanent installations, and you can refer back to our textile tech tutorial, and it discusses through all the technical elements of the fabrics. Dimensions Tents is proud to have a 2-year warranty on our canvas, meaning the actual lifespan of the tent and the canvas. However, we do not have a warranty on the installation of the tent unless it's installed by Dimensions Tents privately. Dimensions Tents and Structures highly advises when installing a Bedouin stretch tent in a permanent installation to do a proper site survey in terms of the weather conditions. Which are your predominant winds? What are the weather conditions in precipitation? And then install the Bedouin stretch tent taking those into consideration. If the windward's coming from a specific side, put extra reinforcements or drop the tent down so that the wind can go over the tent. So Dimensions Tents and Structures would like to encourage you to use our services. We've got highly experienced technicians who can advise on peg placement, pole placements, how to erect the tent in certain ground conditions. The tent needs to be installed to spec. We've seen a lot of tents installed where they're under tensioned. The pegs that are used are breaching out of the ground. In certain cases, we've seen mechanical devices like jacks being used to give additional tension to a tent. We've got to make sure that the pole and pressure placement on the tent is equal, and we avoid over tensioning the tents too much to cause damage. Dimensions Tents and Structures focuses on a routine quarterly maintenance throughout the year. So that's once every 3 months. We would then go to all the permanent installations that we have done, move some of the poles so that they can reduce the tensioned areas, check the ground conditions that none of the pegs have breached, check some of the wall mountings that none of the fixtures have deteriorated on the wall mountings. This is very, very important. We've seen a lot of damages to tents purely because of lack of maintenance, where the poles fall out, there's no response, and then the tent flaps and gets a tear. We've seen a lot of tents damaged in extreme weather conditions where it's pre-forecasted that there would be a 100-kilometer wind approaching. The tent hasn't had maintenance, it's under tension, the wind comes, trashes the tent, and it could have been avoided. In the case of the weather conditions locally, if there's snow load, wind, water pooling, these are certain elements that can be avoided, and your tent can have a longer lifespan if you manage these and mitigate the damage to these tents. Like any other product on the market, whether it's a motor vehicle that goes for its annual service, or these are products that need maintenance, especially in the permanent installation. Dimensions Tents and Structures would like to give you some insight into a couple of the accessories we now use when doing a high performance installation. First, we'll be discussing the 4-way steel cap. This is an accessory that goes on top of the wooden or aluminium pole. This is highly reinforced and will take on additional tension. This is the 2-way cap. This cap is also highly recommended for the permanent installations. We'll now be discussing the storm strap kits. These are definitely advised when doing a permanent installation. This is a product that gets thrown over the top of the tent. In the case that there is wind and the tent is bellowing, the storm strap will help keep tension from the top surface of the tent. So it's got your fabric coated ratchet strap, your ratchet head with a cover, and it comes with a D-shackle, and this is definitely advised when doing permanent installations. Dimensions Tents and Structures is proud to have developed an adjustable base plate. So the reason it's adjustable is for wooden poles, because the diameter of the base of the pole is unconstant, so therefore you can place your pole in the base plate and you can then adjust it accordingly to give the pole stability. At the base there's attachments for pegs and small holes for tech screws or for coach bolts, depending on the foundation of the ground that you'll be installing it on. This allows the tent pole to stay erect. Obviously if the tent is billowing and it loses tension, the adjustable base plate will make sure that the pole does not collapse. We use the rigging peg for permanent installations. This has got a hex nut which is used for the plates, and this has got the hook. This is the 32mm peg which is 1.5 meters long, and these are recommended for permanent installation to give your ground fastening extra security. We also advise that wall mounted fixtures are done with chemical anchor and not with raw bolts in a permanent installation. Dimension Sensor Structures is also proud to have the rigging plate. So it's got a 35mm hole which a 32mm peg can go through. As you can see, there's 2 holes and 3 fixtures. This can be installed on the ground mounting so that you get extra security with your plate and extra rigging point for your downlines to be attached to. So Dimension Sensor Structures is proud to have developed the 500 wide and 350 wide jumbo cap. So the reason we have done this, we have identified in certain cases that the wear and tear on the surface area of the 76mm pole cap is quite constant, and that increasing the surface area with the jumbo cap allows the tensioned area to be distributed equally over 350 and 500 wide pole caps, which reduces the wear and tear on that area, causing less damages. So we do advise that you use these pole caps on permanent installation, especially on the larger structures over 100 square meters. So the following product is a peg cover. We slip it over the top of the peg. This is for safety and aesthetics. This mainly covers the peg, as when you hit the top of the peg with a hammer, sometimes it can create a sharp surface area, and this will then cover that and avoid any damage to anyone passing by. Dimension Sensor Structures would like to introduce you to our YouTube channel, where we've done the permanent installation short story, we've done the textile tech tutorial, we've done the gutters and finishes. This specific tutorial was mainly based on maintenance of permanent installations and preparing with the right gear and accessories when doing a permanent installation.